It's Mrs. Brimlow, and today we're going to talk about the Pythagorean theorem. So, if you don't have a copy of the notes, you can click the link to get a copy, or you can get one when you return to class. So, you watched a video that shows you the proof of the Pythagorean theorem and how it works. So, now we're actually going to talk about it, look at the parts, and see how we can use it in some different ways. So, we're skipping down to example 1, understanding the Pythagorean theorem. So, is a right triangle with side lengths ABC. Construct a logical argument to show that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So in the video, you could see how when they put squares around sides A and B, which we call our legs, and you added all of those squares together, it was what they call the square of your longest side, which is C, the hypotenuse. Whenever I'm looking at a diagram, I always highlight my hypotenuse because it's always the longest side. And that gives me a lot of information and direction about what to do with that problem. And I know this is the hypotenuse, not just because they labeled it, but because you're going to notice the right angle in the corner of the triangle. And the hypotenuse is always across from that angle. Okay. So once again, A and B of a right triangle are called legs. They're the shorter sides. They form the right angle. And then across from that right angle is the longest side called the hypotenuse. And we use the letter C to represent it. So I'm going to flip to the next page. And now that we know this, we're going to use this to find different lengths in our triangle. So we have this triangle. We've got 8 centimeters for one side and 15. So I'm going to first take my highlighter and see where is my hypotenuse. So I look for the right angle, which is right here. So these are the legs. Think of it like an L, L for legs. So that means the one across from it, in this case, the question mark, is what we're solving for, which is the hypotenuse. When you are given a formula, you should always start with that in your work. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. That is the Pythagorean theorem. Or a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now with your legs, it doesn't matter what you make a and b. You could use 8 squared first or 15. I always like to go smallest to largest. And you'll also notice they color coded it. So I'm just going to follow the colors. So 8 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. So 8 squared means 8 times 8, which is 64. 15 times 15 is 225, still equals to c squared. So I go ahead and add these together. Now our goal is to get rid of the 2, or the square, the power of 2. So we need to use the inverse of squaring a number, which is to take the square root. When I do that, the square root of 289 is 17, gives me C, and it's centimeters, so this is 17 centimeters, okay? So notice my work is all lined up. It's easy to follow, starting with the formula, okay? We can also use this to find the length of a leg. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to look at the triangle and see where's my right angle, and then right across from it is my hypotenuse. So that means this time we were given the hypotenuse and we're going to solve for one of the shorter sides, the legs. So same thing, I'm going to substitute this information into the formula. So I have 20 squared plus b squared equals 29 squared, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and simplify what I know. So this is 400 plus b squared. And I just need 1 minute so that I can do 29 squared, since that is not one I know off the top of my head. 29, 841. Okay. All right. So now we're solving an equation. My goal is to get b squared by itself, meaning I have to get rid of this 400. So b squared equals 441. And then once again, to get rid of the 2, I have to do the inverse, which is squaring a number. So B equals, and this is going to be 21. So that means B is 21 inches long. So she needs a 21-inch piece of trim for her, what does it say it is? A display case, okay? Once again, work is neat, organized, every step is shown step by step, starting with the formula. This is the expectation, okay? If you have any questions, let me know, and I will chat with you soon.